The fill-in-the-blank text question is a standard question type where students can write a response in an empty field. This question can be used in a variety of ways, especially when you begin to include audio, pictures, and student tools. So let's take a look at a few examples. In this first example, using a math question, a student is going to be able to use the protractor tool on the right side and is going to be able to drag and move this to the appropriate location to be able to enter in their answer. This next example is pretty standard where a student would have to type into each of the fields, and this question allows for multiple answers. So when setting your question and correct answers up, you can allow for multiple answers to be put in. This next example is also another math question where a picture was put in and it's asking the students to type in a measurement, and the student would be able to use the ruler in this. Moving along, we have another picture that is displayed here, and the students would be able to type in their response. The last example uses the audio feature. So in this example, this is acting like a spelling test. The student is going to listen to the recorded audio, and then they will type in the correct spelling for that word. So let's take a look at how you are going to create some of these fill-in-the-blank questions. From your Question Setup tab, you are going to click on the fill-in-the-blank text option, and it is going to open up a new window. You're going to be creating this question in two parts. The first is the question setup, and the second part is the correct answer setup. To begin, you're going to click in the question setup area and start by typing in your question prompt. When you come to an area in your question where you would like to have a blank space inserted for your students to answer that portion, you have two options. Option number one is you can type an underscore in there by clicking on Shift and the dash button. Or option two is going to be to go in and click on your toolbar the insert response icon that looks like a letter R with the dotted line around that. Each time you insert either an underscore or the insert response option, it's going to put this response icon in your question setup. And you're going to notice in the correct answer setup, it's inserting these blanks in here. So you'll continue doing this until your question is fully developed. Once you've finished writing in your question prompt, you're going to come down to the correct answer setup, and in the blank spaces, you are going to type in the correct answer. Once you've typed in the correct answers, you can decide if you want to give students the option of having credit for a partial match or an exact match. An exact match would mean they have to get each portion of this question right for any credit at all, and a partial match will give them partial credit. If you have more than one option for correct answers, you can come in here and give your alternate answers that you would accept for that. Once you're all finished, you can preview your question. If you need to edit it again, you can edit your question, and then you would hit Save.